Hey guys, part 2 of the first video here, going from plant-based vegetarian to veganism. I left off talking about so much of the spiritual clarity and mental clarity that I've gotten, and just talking about how I've come to this place in my consciousness where I understand what being whole is now, and I also understand what how I've detached from so many ideas that I was, brought up with and societally conditioned to. And because of the detachment of something as simple as consuming animal byproducts or even meat itself, the level of clarity that I've gained and the level of spiritual growth that I've come to, it's undescribable, and it's on a point of those who have done it, those who live, the way I do, and I say vegan and also choose to spiritually grow, will understand, because there's so much conditioning and so much programming that as a society we are put under through the things we eat. And so much of this is obvious as you begin to detach, because it is all fed through the program, through the television, and through social media and things like that. And the more consumed we are in that, the more we feed into it, of course, the more programmable we are and the more we absorb. And so when you think about the things that are constantly being pumped and pushed, food, of course, is one of the main things that, commercials are, or the commercials playing on television is food. And a lot of the other things are materialistic, but, I'm referencing to the food right now because when you think about the type of commercials that are being pushed and pumped, a lot of it is animal based, but it's unfortunate that, we live in a society that knows how bad it is for us to consume it, how bad it is in the way they treat it. And by that I mean the hormones that are pumped into it, how badly these animals are treated, how even the conditions that they are put under, and the trauma that is caused to the animal is then transferred to the item we consume. And a lot of these farmers and a lot of these companies, and I would even say something like the FDA is aware of that, but because it is a conditioning system for the masses, they don't care. And so it is up to us to awaken into, more truth and making the changes on our own individually. So anyway, I have chosen to obviously do this, and the benefits have been immense for my health, for my spiritual being, for my spiritual growth, and even more so, the ideas and I would say the detachment that I've gone through a lot of the traditional and cultural upbringing that I was brought up with, including my association to food, to my emotional state, including how I view the things that I consume now to the things that I accept in a relationship. And I'm going to talk about that because I think that's a huge, huge, huge thing that, you know, part of me wants to say women do, but I think in general, all of us do, men and women. And in my case, obviously, I'm a woman who has accepted a lot of interesting things in relationships. And now the growth that has taken place has pushed me to understand why I used to accept certain things, or why I thought certain things were okay, and why now they're no longer okay, and why now I've raised the standard, I've raised the bar. And a lot of that for me is an association to the things I eat, because since I began cleaning up my eating, going plant-based, going vegetarian, I realized, like, I'm showing myself love. I'm showing myself kindness. Carla, the being, has come to a place of soulfully connected to the mind. And so now we're making, you know, now it's a duality. Now we have the conscious and the subconscious as one. And so the choices that I make are no longer just mental conditioning. The choices that I make are now emotionally and soulfully driven. And so choosing to love myself is not just something that is a verbal thing. It's not just something I say because it sounds good. Choosing to love myself is actually showing myself kindness, showing myself love, being patient with myself, understanding that all the things that I am going through are not a punishment, and that they're not it's not that life is happening to me in a bad way. It's that the things that I kept choosing and the way that I kept treating myself was only manifesting itself more. Now that I'm in this full awareness of, if I treat myself kindly, then I am manifesting kindness, then I am loving myself, then I am manifesting love. Wish I would have known this sooner. But essentially, now that I have made the connection, you know, and how our thoughts and our words manifest themselves, especially the way we treat our being, ourselves, is a reflection of how we will treat others. And so cleaning up the way I treat Carla, cleaning up the way I think of Carla and view Carla and speak of Carla, has now led me to recognize that if I am good to me, meaning I am choosing to put only the best in my body, I am choosing to put things that are organic, and things that are of the earth, and things that give me life, and things that are nurturing, and I'm seeing the benefits of putting all these good things in my body. My association to it in relationships is, if I'm being this good to me, if Carla, soulfully, is being good to Carla physically, why would I accept a man or a being, not just a man, you know, but friendships that are not good to me, that want to disrespect me, that want to be unkind to me? If I'm this good to me, everyone is going to be this good to me. Because if you can't offer me what I offer me, then you have nothing to offer me. That association, through understanding our emotions and our connection to food, has taught me how to clean up my relationships, how to clean up what I accept. in the way someone is willing to treat me. How I realize that I don't want to entertain mediocrity. And I don't want to entertain someone who just wants to waste my time. My time is valuable. I value my time. You should value my time. And if you don't value my time, my being, my kindness, or the love that I have to offer, you don't deserve my time. You don't deserve my presence. You certainly don't deserve my energy, because I have a lot to give. And I'm tired of giving it to people who are unappreciative of it. And all of this has come from learning how to treat myself through the things I put in my body. That, to me, was an immense lesson. That, to me, has taught me so much. I remember 2 months ago, I had opened up myself to attempting to date, and I had opened myself up to the idea that it was okay to fall in love again, and it was okay to put myself out there and try again. And when I tried, it wasn't good. It didn't happen in my favor. And so I became frustrated. And I kind of had a moment of like shutting down and going back to my introverted ways and kind of shutting the world out and going back to this bubble, saying, having this conversation with the universe and saying, like, why am I doing all this work? Why am I going through all this healing and, growing Carla to this place that I find to be so beautiful? I can look at myself and say that I know I'm a beautiful being. I know what I have to offer, not only as, a physical being, not only as a woman, but the depth of my soul, the depth of my mind, and the things I create, and, what I bring to the table. It frustrated me to know all of that and to try to understand why it was that I was still attracting beings that were not wanting to really manifest anything with me, just literally wasting my time. And due to my frustration, of course, I have this conversation with the universe and I question, why am I going through this again? Why is this lesson on repeat? And I realized this was a huge revelation. There was a vegan panel that I attended in Chicago. And I wasn't sure really why I was going to go, other than the fact that I wanted information on, how to become vegan or the vegan lifestyle. I knew that there was a reason I was meant to go there. I didn't want to overthink it. So I bought my ticket and I was like, whatever, I'll go. I had asked a couple friends if they wanted to go with. No one was available to go, so I knew I was meant to go by myself. And somehow I had come to this idea that it didn't matter if anyone could or couldn't go with me. There was a message there for me, and I needed to go. So the day comes, and I go to the panel, and I sit in, and I'm listening to all the information being given, and I am having this like aha moment, huge aha moment as the people are speaking. So the panel consisted of 4 African American men who I say African American, but I think some of them may be of you know, like also Hispanic or Latin descent. Anyway, essentially minorities, right? And I'm seeing these men who are vegan, who are activists, who have taken the time to grow and heal a lot of their childhood and past traumas, and have chosen to take a stance on a subject that is practically tabooed, you know, like black men or men of a minority background vegan? What? Who does that? So as I'm sitting there taking it all in, I realized that the universe was teaching me a lot that day. First of all, it was teaching me that I needed to grow, because in order for me to be in alignment with a better quality man, I needed to be a better quality woman. I was asking the universe to put me or set me in alignment with the type of man that is of my caliber, the type of man that is deserving of a being like me. And what I realized was I needed to place myself, Carla needed to place herself in that situation in order to be in alignment with that type of man. How could I ask for this man if I am not that woman, if I'm not there? And so, place yourself in a different circle. Stop putting yourself in circles of lower vibration that don't benefit you. You don't, you know, you have outgrown so much of the games and mediocrity. Why keep placing yourself in that? So seeing these guys in their full light and seeing them talking about things that they're passionate about, like animal rights and veganism and spirituality, and having done the work to heal themselves, having done the work to grow, having done, you know, having cared enough about themselves to make the changes that were necessary to be better men and attract a better woman. You can't tell me that the universe isn't real. You can't tell me that, you know, we are pushed in the direction that we ask for. You know, if I'm sitting here asking the universe to put me in alignment or put me in a path or reveal to me what I'm deserving of, and they send me, they put me in the literal space of what is now in alignment to my being, what I'm in alignment to, it would be dumb of me. I would be neglectful to my own being, recognizing all of this and staying stagnant, sitting in the same dumb circle, attracting the same mediocre type of person and entertaining it, and then having the audacity to say, why am I still going through this? So, and this all came from my association to food.